What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the City Life Project YouTube channel for yet another predictions video for UFC 295. Let's get right into it. If you're new to these live streams, if you're new to these predictions videos, we go through a chunk of them, 3 to 4 of the fights. We dive through, we preview, we run down. I give my picks, I give my predictions, and then we go back to the comments. Like I said, every 3 to 4 picks. If I took your guys' comments throughout this entire stream, throughout this entire rundown, we would be here all night. Shout out to Irish Animal, shout out to Brian, and shout out to everybody who's joining us later after we stream when the video is posted. I will get timestamps for you guys up here right after the video is up. With that being said, we'll get back to the comments in a few minutes here, so keep the comments coming. We will get to them. If I miss it, just comment it again. Let's dive into the card, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Serial Killers Documentary is one of our exclusive members. Good evening. Yes. How are you, sir? Thank you so much for joining. By the way, sorry to the exclusive members. I wasn't able to do an exclusive membership stream on Monday. We are planning to do it later tonight, okay? All right. Let's get into the rundown. Starting off the card here, and again, we'll get back to your comments in a few minutes, guys. A few changes here on the card, obviously most notable being John Jones, Stipe Miocic, but that was a few weeks ago. It's so funny to think that Derek Brunson was supposed to be on this card once upon a time. Now he's signed in the PFL and is fighting in a few weeks. Just absolutely crazy. Matt Schnell was actually supposed to fight Steve Erceg, which, man, that would have been an awesome fight. I really like Matt Schnell. Like, maybe his chin is gone now. His chin could just be that of glass, but he usually puts on really good fights. And Rębecki's opponent, Aliev, also pulled out. But for the most part, there's still some great fights on this card, starting with the first one, Jamall Emmers against Denis Buzukja. And what an unbelievable last name to have for fighting. Both of these guys, solid fighters. All right, like Jamall Emmers, definitely more of like the veteran. Buzukja, more of the prospect. This one is actually being fought at a catchweight. I wonder who missed weight here. Very professional of me not even... it's Friday. I was working. I didn't tune into the weigh-ins. My apologies, guys. That could be some stuff that you guys let me know in the comments here. I didn't get any notifications that there were any like egregious weight misses and any fights canceled. But anyways, I'm gonna stick with my picks here regardless. And shout out to everyone who's tuning in right now in the live chat. We'll get back to your comments here in a sec. All right, Denis Buzukja, 11-3 as a pro. Like I said, 26 years old, very much still a prospect. He's out of New York, plus 215 underdog here. He's 4-1 in his last 5 fights. I was on a 4-fight win streak. What was his win streak? Oh, way bigger than 4-2, 5-fight win streak before losing to Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson is fine. He's a decent fighter. He's the one with that very unique body type, so it's hard for fighters to prepare for him. But that was actually a fun and entertaining fight. He's 1-1 off Contender Series. That was his first fight officially in the UFC, and he's 1-0 in Bellator. He's also fought in UAE Wars, Cage Fury FC. I like how much experience he's had in a ton of different high-level regional shows, despite him only being, 26 years of age. Jamall Emmers, though, is really good. 19-7. I mean, that alone, he's got miles of experience on that of a Buzukja. Training out of the United States, 34 years of age. 2-3 in his last 5, but that doesn't paint the accurate picture, because like he is in tough fights. He's lost close decisions, and even in some losses, he's been able to hurt his opponents, knock them down as well. Very well-rounded, 7 KO TKOs, 3 submissions, 9 decisions, 2-3 in the UFC, 3-0 in LFA, and 0-1 off Contender Series. Great fight against Jack Jenkins. Like, split decisions, and I think Jack Jenkins rightfully won that fight. But if you want to make an argument that Jamall Emmers wins, like, I will listen. And I'm pretty sure Jamall Emmers was injured in the second or the first or second round of that fight, if I'm not mistaken. And he still went to a split decision. Beat Ashkabov, lost to Pat Sabatini pretty soundly in that one. He's lost a split decision to Giga Chikadze when he was just buzzing back in 2020. That's a really good fight. He was on a 4-fight win streak before then. In road to M1, LFA. He's got some great wins, actually. on the regional as well. Beat Corey Sandhagen. I know back in 2017, but he beat him in LFA. So you just know the talent is there. And he's just a tough test for any prospect, in my opinion. And he still looks good despite being 34 years of age. So I'm going with Jamall Emmers. That's my pick for this one. Like I said, well-rounded. So many good fights. Close fights with good opponents and great moments in the UFC. Buzukja is good. He's still young. Not a bad underdog at plus, what is he? Plus 215. Yeah, not a bad underdog at plus 215, but I'm going with Jamall Emmers. Again, we'll get back to the live chat here in just a little bit, guys. We're going to get a chunk of this card done first. Next, we got Joshua Van against Kevin Borjas. Now, our friend Jay Herbo on the channel, not a fan of this Inca alumni at all. He didn't even think that he deserved a contract in the UFC. I think he put up a hell of a fight. I think his opponent was actually a really good opponent, and he proved that, okay, you can fight guys at a higher level than that of Inca. Look, big support of Inca FC on this channel. We've actually done a Fight Companion covering that promotion. It's not that great, though. Let's be perfectly honest. Look, Peruvian MMA is on the rise, and I will tip my cap. I'll give all those promotions props for continuing to push out prospects who even can make it to the UFC Contender Series. But overall, like, you're crushing a lot of cans before you get to that level to prove yourself. He proved himself, and he did a very, very good job. He had a great fight on Contender Series. Before then, though, did crush a lot of cans. Look, 9-1 record, well-deserved. Inca's a fun league to watch. You'll see some crazy fights, but it's kind of like Lux. We're like, okay, yeah, there's some talent that comes out of there, but you look at some of the records that these guys and gals are have fighting each other, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I understand. 8 KO TKO, 0 submissions, 1 decision. Now you can say 7-0 in Inca, so he's fought a lot in that promotion. Beaten 11-2 Victor Diaz, and it was an absolute war. Before then, just like an 8-4, okay, 9-5. Someone making their debut lost to 13-6. I mean, 4-2 in his second fight. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's just not great. I've seen a lot worse. What is cool is he has a ton of amateur experience. Look at that. A ton of amateur experience. So he's definitely polished his craft. And he's only 25 years of age, going up against a guy who's 22 years of age, who at 22 is sound, man. Out of Myanmar, but training out of Texas. Joshua Van, 8-1 as a pro, minus 235 favorite. If that doesn't tell you the story about this guy, despite his opponent fighting an Inca and, a known lesser promotion, my goodness, is Joshua Van fun to watch. 8 KO, or is it 5 KO TKO, my bad. 2 submissions, 1 decisions, 1-0 in the UFC, 7-1 in Fury. And I'm critical of Fury FC, although their Challenger Series cards have been pretty good every Sunday. It's cool that Fury FC, like, they are Sunday MMA now, which is cool. And again, I've been critical of them, and maybe I just watched them through a rough patch. Maybe I have to be a little bit more open-minded with Fury. But he had a great win against Zumagulov, who, again, he beat him. I don't think it's a split decision, but I don't think any of you would disagree there. Zumagulov is a hard test for anyone, and poor guy, because he's definitely a UFC caliber fighter. He just can't buy a win. He can't buy a win. He can't give a ref, a judge, enough cash to get himself a win here. I'm not accusing him. I'm just saying, even if that was a scenario, Zumagulov wouldn't have been able to get a win. The UFC should have just kept him to continue. You'd be like, you're just our gatekeeper. You're our Sam Alvey. Just keep signing contracts. Before then, be 17-9 guy on Fury, 7-1. And that was his only really good win. So I think because we watched his last fight when he beat Zumagulov, and I remember I picked him to win. I'm pretty sure I picked him to win, but I was gritting my teeth a little bit because I was like, oh man, he hasn't fought that many great opponents. He looks so good. Obviously, there's some things he has to tighten up, but at 22 years of age, man, already at this level, his striking's good. So I'm picking Joshua Van to win. Though I'm going to continue to support for the Peruvian fighter here, Kevin Borjas. I do think Joshua Van's going to win here. He's a sick prospect. Yeah, he's beaten decent opponents in his last few fights anyways. Good takedown defense, fights at a high pace. He got a little gassed in third round in his last fight, but he was the one pushing the pace even at a slower level, and Zumagulov was on the back foot quite a bit. Like I said, good wrestling defense. way better kicks, way better punches, in my opinion, than that of a Kevin Borjas. Kevin Borjas looks really good when he's fighting guys. If we go and look at his tape, but again, not the best opponents overall, but so much amateur experience. Yeah, I just think he's just better. I think he does everything better. He's at 22 years of age. He's way more polished. I would be pleasantly surprised and be happy if my pick was wrong here, and if Borjas was able to be that diamond in the rough and really prove everybody wrong and be like, no, I am levels above some of these guys in the UFC already, despite me coming out of a lesser promotion. But until he proves that to me, I'm picking Joshua Van. All right, next pick here. Then we'll go back to the comments, guys. Next one here. Kyung Ho Kang against John Castañeda. Castañeda, our boy out of Minnesota. That is right. Training out of the academy in Minnesota. A lot of academy guys are on the last LFA card as well. It was Minnesotans or former Gopher wrestlers who went and traded like the ATTs, who went and traded at the better, bigger gyms out there against. And the LFA matchmakers did a great job of this against a lot of the local gym guys in that of like the academy, which was so fun to see. And you know what? The academy held their own. Even in the main event, the academy held their own. Anyways, out of Korea here, we got Ho Kang, Mr. Perfect, 19-9. He is 4-1 in his last 5 fights, but honestly, I'm not impressed by this performance. He's okay. 36 years of age. He's past his prime, in my opinion. He's fine. He's not bad. Road FC champ at one point. Road FC is a fun league, man. It's a fun league. I don't know. I'm just never been convinced. 2 KO, TKO, 12 submission. He's got some good grappling. 5 decisions. 1 disqualification as well. 8-3-1 in the UFC. He's really 8-3-1 in the UFC. Wow. Just boring as hell. Just boring as hell. You would think that you would even like remember some of his big submissions. Wow. Been in the league for 10 years. Insane. Oh, my mouse just fell off the table. Sorry, guys. 1 sec. Oh, getting way too excited. Okay. Yeah, that's crazy. 1 no contest as well. Be Christian Quinones. And this is why. I noted this as well. Who's he fought? He lost to Rani Yaya. Crickets, right? Not really familiar with either of these two guys. That's just the thing. Who's he beaten? Guido Canetti back in 2018. You know what I mean? No contest against Alex Caceres. Like, he's been in the league for a while. He's been winning against lesser opponents, so he's been able to keep his roster spot, so good for him. I think he's fine everywhere. He's not great anywhere. John Castañeda, though there's a lot of holes in his games, though he makes some big mistakes in fights. Like, for me, John Castañeda will have rounds where he looks awesome and puts together like really, really entertaining fights. And but he can never put, assuming it goes the distance, he can never put 15 minutes together and make it not flawless, but you won every single round and you only made little mistakes. It's like every fight in a round or two, he makes these gaping mistakes and they just end up either costing the fight or making it closer than it should be. For a guy who fights at the pace that he fights at, it's like he almost has to dial it back a touch because I find he's always gassed at the end of the fight, even if he's the one pushing the pace, even he's the one employing his game plan, which is clearly, fighting at a high pace. He is fun to watch, though. 20-6, he's 3-2 in his last 5. He's a slight favorite at -135, 31 years of age. 7 KO, TKO, 7 submissions, 6 decisions, so very well-rounded. 3-2 in the UFC, coming off Contender Series. Beat Gafurov in his last fight, but Gafurov kind of was fraud-checked really, really early. In his UFC career now with 2 losses. Although his last fight, not a good matchup, and he kind of messed up there. But regardless, in a fight that went the distance, good win. Lost to Daniel Santos. Daniel Santos is fine. I'm not going to blame him for that. Beat Miles Jones, okay. Beat Eddie Wineland, whatever. Lost to Nathaniel Wood, but went the distance with him. In a fun fight. Beat Rojo as he should. And then on the regionals, has some good wins as well. Went on a crazy run between 2015 and 2017. He fought a lot in those 2 years as well. Obviously, I'm rooting for the Minnesotan there out of Minneapolis. I am rooting for the Academy guy, and I like watching his fights, win or lose. Again, he leaves it all in the cage, and I just think, bias aside, he's better than Ho Kang in this one. I think he has the better chin, heart, toughness, good wrestler, decent boxing. Actually, way better boxing than that of Ho Kang. Fun fighter. Let's freaking go. At -135. Cannot go wrong. Okay, I lied. We're doing one more here, then we'll get back to the comments, guys. Thank you for your patience. But like I said, if I just took your comments throughout this particular show that we do on the channel, we would be here all night. We still got a membership stream to do later. And Kyle and I, right after this, actually, are going out to film a vlog. And he's been getting back into photography, so he's going to take some photos here before it gets dark. So we got some content that we're going to be filming and hopefully just editing up tonight, throwing it up on the channel, and doing a membership stream as well. So again, appreciate you guys. For those who are watching this video, don't worry, we will have timestamps after for you, or who can't stick around and watch the whole thing. I will be putting timestamps on it right after. All right, JL, this one's for you, brother. This one's for you, brother. Jared Gordon is back, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully his brain is healthy. Hopefully his body's healthy. Hopefully he is in the right mindset to kick ass here. The Flash, Jared Gordon. 19-6 as a pro. Kind of a weird last few fights. 1-2 was robbed of, one of his losses there. Bobby Green, and again, it was no contest. A little bit of a headbutt there. Love Bobby Green, but... and Bobby, he's right. It's a cage fight. Can't use your noggin. What is this? We need some left-way rules up in this UFC. Come on now. Okay, soccer kicks before headbutts. All right, soccer kicks before headbutts. But anyways, 35 years of age, man. He's getting up there. But Mark Madsen's 39. So again, Jared Gordon, pretty good matchup for him in this one. Again, he's taking some time off, some much-needed time off, given the last year that he had, given the 2022 and 2023, the last 12 months. 6 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 11 decisions. He is the decision machine, the decision man, Jared Gordon. You went 8-1 cage for UFC, which is awesome. 7-5-1 in the UFC. Again, should be 8-4-1 in the UFC, but anyways, should have beat Paddy Pimblett here. Hey, he's beating Bobby Green in that first round as well. Bobby Green probably would have won that one, even by submission. Knock him down, submit him easy, like you did with Tony. Anyways, lost Grant Dawson. No shame there. Actually, you know what? Shame there, because Grant Dawson, he's not what we thought he was. He's not who we thought he was. It was on a decent 3-fight win streak again against guys who not the best opponents, but has been answering the bell for the UFC for a little while now. And I always root for him because of his story, what he's gone through, what he continues to go through. How can you not root for the Flash, Jared Gordon, going up against Mark Madsen, 12-1 as a pro, but despite his record, 4-1 his last 5 fights, lost his last fight, he's not that great. And for being a wrestler in MMA, he's not that great. He's not great at employing his wrestling, his strength in mixed martial arts, man. Despite training at Fight Ready as well. 3 KO, TKO, 3 submissions, 6 decisions. Oh, this is going to be such a boring fight. I really hope Jared just gets a knockout here early. 4-1 in the UFC. Also lost to Grant Dawson, but again, Grant Dawson, he ain't that good. Beat a 14-2. Was it Vince Piel? Don't even know who that is. Split decision against Clay Guida in 2021. Come on, dude. You're going to tell me you're a good UFC fighter. I mean, I love Clay Guida, but come on. Beat Austin Hubbard. Before being signed by the UFC and after Cage Warriors, he was against a guy making their debut. I mean, a guy pushed by Cage Warriors into the UFC. I don't know. If it's not evident here, I'm going with Jared Gordon. No finish Gordon. The Flash, no finish. No finish Flash. Jared Gordon. Way more well-rounded. He's bigger. I think he's bigger anyways. Stronger. Mark Madsen's a good grappler, but at the UFC level, he's really not. Good wrestler, again, at the UFC level, he's really not. Jared has good wrestling, good grappling as well that he's been able to employ at this level against other good grapplers in the UFC. He has better hands. Jared Gordon's not known for his hands, but I mean, he was throwing hands against Bobby Green. If he was able to hold his own against Bobby Green in the striking department, he's going to destroy Madsen if he can keep this on the feet. And that's why I'm just hoping for a KO. Yeah, I think the time off's just was great for him. And I think Madsen is nothing in the striking department. So I'm going with Jared Gordon. I'm praying, knocking on wood for a KO. But it's probably going to go the distance. Jared Gordon's just going to absolutely clown this guy. All right, back to the comments we go. What's up, Mikey P, one of our exclusive members? Minus 215 for Gordon is crazy. Way too much value on Madsen as an underdog to bet against him on this one. I just think he's so bad. I don't think he even has a chance. Like, there's like, who else on this card? Like, I think pick against Rębecki. That's way better value. Now, I don't think he's gonna. I'm not confident in him either, but like that's just craziness. I'd sprinkle a little something on him. I forget what it is, like plus like 400 something. But anyways, I have like there's not even that. Maybe he even lands something. You know, like if this goes 3 rounds, Gordon's gonna win. Like 9.9 times out of 10, in my opinion. But fair enough. You guys gamble more than I do. That's just how I'm looking at it. What's up, Denial? One of our exclusive members as well. Appreciate you. Madsen, 2 1-dimensional for Gordon. What's up, Tarzan Strickland? Good to see you, man. I think we could see a lot of decisions on this card. Sean Spencer, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Sorry I missed your comment right away. Oh, that's your best underdog pick. Nice. All right. I'm going to make a little note here. I'm excited to see. This one's Isha going up against Mikey P. What's up, Gun Tone Granny? Thank you so much for stopping by and liking, and thank you so much for joining Judd's Buds in the last live stream. That one was awesome. Bro, Canonas and Dana are good wins. They aight. I'm going with all underdogs on this event. Seem like a higher outcome. What's up, Leela? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Kung has 2 great recent wins. Picking him. I just don't know how he keeps doing it. I don't know how he keeps doing it. For me, he's, and you know what? Maybe this is me. And again, this is my predictions video, so this is me 100%. He's just so forgettable that maybe I'm not giving him enough credit. And I will admit that. Seriously, like I watch so much mixed martial arts, and and it's not that it all blends together. Like I take note of all the highlights. I take note of all the standouts. And for me, he just hasn't stood out. So maybe I'm just overlooking some of the finer details and stuff like that. And I'm very much okay to admit that. I like some of our good picks with Emmers and Van. Was there a notification? There should be if you rung that bell. What's up, Matt W? Sergei was plus 110 days ago. Still an underdog at minus 105 now. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I mean, Tom Aspinall, and we'll get into it. Like, he is miles above the competition, I think, that Pavlovich has faced in the UFC, and I think that's just why. Odds open as a pick'em, but I guess he's underdog because Pavlovich is 2 in the rankings. Aspinall's 4. What's up, Foul One of our exclusive members as well. Good to see you. Aspinall's and Pav are even odds. Borjas, I'm not impressed with your performance. I've got Joshua Van. Yeah, Emmers beat Ashkabov. What's up, Ice Viking? I didn't see the weigh-ins, but her Emmers missed weight and didn't look great. Oof. Damn. Yeah, because so what it said, 164 or 167 was the catch weight. 3 days notice for the Woodson fight. Great dog. I've got Emmers. Last one was sure knows. Got you. It's good to see you, man. And again, serial killers here as well. Brian, drop it. Brian's about to be Brian, you're about to have a kid soon, aren't you? Irish Animal, good to see you guys. What's up, Charles Barkley? What's going on, brother? Good to see you. No, it is going to be a sick card. This is going to be a sick card. Emmers missed, but looked okay. I thought Tom was the favorite. Where's Tom? I have the note here. I think Tom's the slight underdog. We'll check it out here in a sec. I didn't get the underdog, but got you for the first half. Oh, we're already half an hour in, and we're only 4 fights into this, so you're good. You're good. Madsen is good and has a motor, but his boxing isn't good enough. Tang with Jared, and Jared can wrestle good enough to stay off the ground. He may also better Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to help him if he gets her. Yeah, that's just the thing. Jared Gordon is way more well-rounded and way more of an MMA veteran, and I just haven't been impressed with Madsen at all. Madsen better not let me down now. Don't let me down. Rębecki's a skip fight for me. I mean, Rębecki might just get a sick knockout in the first round and, you know, good night, Jim Kite. I don't think he's going to gas like he did in his first fight. Appreciate you guys. We'll get back to the comments here in a sec. I mean, talk amongst yourselves too. This stream is, you know, we have a community here as well, which is awesome. And hopefully Kyle and I will be doing some streams, even just some like Q&A and streams. So you guys get to, so a lot of our new subscribers who in the last like 4 to 6 months have joined the channel. So you guys can get to know Kyle as well, who is, you know, the co-owner of this channel and does a lot of work behind the scenes. I have no hope for Jaron. Yeah, he's not that great. He's not that great. Very one-dimensional. All right, we'll get back to the comments here in a sec, but let's get through the next chunk of fights here. And guys, stay tuned. We have our degenerate and safe pick of the week. Our safe parlay, sorry, our safe parlay, safe and degenerate parlays of the week. Our safe parlay of the week hit last week, guys, so I'm feeling myself. All right. Nazim Sadykhov against Vyacheslav Borshchev. Now, Borshchev, fan favorite. How can you not love this guy? Very talking about one-dimensional in the last fight in the wrestling. Very one-dimensional kickboxer here. I mean, slowly learning a little bit of takedown defense. I mean, we see him defend 1, maybe 2 takedowns every fight now, where he wasn't able to defend any takedowns early in his MMA career. Very talented kickboxer. Hits incredibly hard. I mean, for his size, for his frame. But that's just it. Like, you can't have that obvious of a weakness in your game, and Sadykhov is way more well-rounded. Is he as good of a striker as Borshchev? No, he's not, but he's got some wrestling, he's got grappling, he's got okay hands, and he's got better jiu-jitsu, in my opinion. 9-1 as a pro is the Azerbaijani. He's training out of Serra-Longo, training out of Brooklyn, 29 years of age, just coming into his own here. The brown dude's nickname is the Black Wolf. I love it. 6 KO, TKO, 2 submissions, 1 decisions, 2-0 in the UFC, 1-0 off Contender Series. Dominant win against Terrence McKinney. Beat Evan Elder via doctor stoppage. Had a great win off on Contender Series. And his wins in Fury, again, he kind of crushed some cans. I remember we talking about this the last time he fought. Kind of crushed some cans, but I mean, he got into Contender Series pretty early at what, 6-1? Yeah, so I'm not going to blame him too much. You guys know my rule. Until you hit like 4 or 5 professional fights, I'm not going to judge you based on your opponents. You're just going to take whatever opponents you can get, the pro level coming off amateur. And he did just that, lost his first fight, and kind of leveled up 3-2, 2-0. 6-4 when he's 5-1. So, I mean, not the best development if you're just looking at his resume there, but he clearly has delivered, and he looked miles above his last 3 opponents who were UFC caliber guys. Borshchev, again, he's a nasty striker, which is why the odds, I imagine, are this close here. And he's just getting better and better, training with good training partners and a good gym there at Alpha Male. Slava Claus, gotta love it. 7-3 as a pro, 3-2 in his last 5. He did win his last fight upon going on a 2-fight losing streak, you know, fighting for his job here in the UFC. 6 KO, TKO, 0 submission. He's never been submitted, but he's never submitted anyone either. Lost 2 decisions, mostly just because his opponent just laid on him and beat him up on the ground. 2-2 in the UFC, 1-1 in LFA, 1-0 off Contender Series. Beat a 9-2. I don't even remember who this guy's. Hayes. Yeah, who the heck is this guy? Yeah, he beat a male opponent in his last fight. So, look, I would love nothing more than for Slava Claus to get this one, but I'm going with Sadykhov. He's probably going to finish him. This will be the first submission loss for Borshchev. Or Borshchev. That's what I think here. Again, I'd be happy to be incorrect on this one and Borshchev knocks him out, but I'm going with Sadykhov -135. Again, there's a reason the odds are this close. That's how dangerous of a striker Borshchev is. But yeah, Sadykhov has better wrestling, better grappling, way more well-rounded in mixed martial arts. Opponent may be a dangerous striker, but from what I've seen, has no ground game, and he's made improvements, but they've just been too small of improvements at this level. He needs to make bigger ones. Again, Borshchev, if you want to sprinkle a little something on the underdog knockout, there might be some good value there. Next up the card, and again, we'll get back to the comments here. We'll get through 2-3 more matchups, and we'll get back to the comments and listen to and hear what you guys have to say. But continue to talk amongst yourselves. We have Mateusz Rębecki against Roosevelt Roberts. Roosevelt Roberts back in the UFC upon being cut, going through tough again, not winning tough, but having, one good win on the show there. This one's a catchweight as well. Mateusz Rębecki was supposed to fight a different opponent. Again, Roosevelt taking this one on short notice. Let's take it back into the UFC. 18-1 is the Polish fighter, 31 years of age, and he is on a hell of a win streak right now. Again, came into the UFC with a little bit of a gas tank issue, went nuts in his first fight and gas hard in the second round. Has since addressed it, honestly. Has since addressed it, as in his last fight, he looked pretty damn good. 9 KO TKO, 6 submissions, 3 decisions, 2-0 in the UFC, 1-0 off Contender Series. Yeah, went into the second round and looked fine after that first round, which the pace was crazy. Unanimous decision. This one he did look a little gassed later in that fight, and his winning Contender Series was very nice. He's able to drop his opponent, get the rear naked choke. FEN is an awesome promotion. Beat a 7-2 guy, 10-5, 11-1, 30-12 before even coming over to Contender Series. So he's actually beat some solid fighters. Again, was probably able to be on the Paulo Costa special, the Secret Juice at that point, but nevertheless has adapted to being off the Secret Juice. And again, looked good in his last fight. Didn't seem to gas it on. Still was able to fight at that high pace that he likes to put on in that first round. Roosevelt Roberts is dead man walking at this point. Yeah, he's got some talent. Yeah, he's a veteran in mixed martial arts, 12-3. Yeah, he's got a pretty good record. But upon leaving the UFC, he has had easy opponents. If he was really that good, he would have plowed through tough. Let's be honest, because the opponents were horrendous. 4 KO TKOs, 5 submissions, 3 decisions, 4-3, 1 no contest in UFC, 1-0 in Bellator, 1-0 off Contender Series. He lost to Austin Hubbard, who again he got to the round where he's actually fighting good guys. But if you wanted to prove yourself, and you're going to fight guys at Austin Hubbard's level in the UFC, if you would have won the show anyway. So if you're really going to prove that you deserve it, you had to beat those guys, and it was a split decision. Again, absolutely schooled Nate Jennerman as he should have, because this guy is a tomato can. Got to win an Eagle FC, LXF, 21-10, 20-11. At least guys who have experience, but probably guys who have way too much miles on them. Got knocked out with that sick winning wheel kick by Bahamondes, that prospect, and lost to Jim Millard, 2020. He's taking this fight on short notice. I think Rębecki's going to school him here. He's a very good MMA fighter. Seems to be addressing his gas tank, like I said. Hits insanely hard, insane pace. Yeah, he's not as long. He's not going to be able to control the distance as well as Roberts, but I do think he's going to just smother him. Either smother him with a relenting pace up against the cage, in the clinch, short elbows, or just go for it in the pocket. He has a decent chin, a way better chin than Roberts as well. Roberts is not bad, not great. At plus 440, though, how can you not sprinkle just a little some just in case? How can you not bank on Rębecki gassing at those odds? What's up, Volcan? We'll get back to the comments here in a sec. We haven't reached the parlays yet, my man, so you're just in time. All right, up the card. Oh, my God. Tabatha Ricci against Lupita Godinez. I'm very excited for this fight. Shit, even if this wasn't a fight, I'd be excited for this fight. Gotta love Baby Shark. And honestly, gotta love Lupita Godinez. She's a fun fighter as well. Both of these women fight, all seriousness. They all bring it. And they're not boring fighters here. Tabatha Ricci, striking is getting a lot better. Her kickboxing, and I mean, she was always good at judo, but her kickboxing is getting a lot better. Really employing it well in mixed martial arts and using her spinning kicks. And again, against lesser opponents, she's able to make it look like it's pad work. And I know Lupita Godinez is actually a pretty damn good women's fighter in the strawweight division. She's got that dog in her. She hits hard. She can take a punch. I'm interested to see how much damage the small but stocky Ricci can take taking punches from that of a Lupita Godinez. Godinez is 11-3 on a 3-fight win streak right now. 9-1 is Ricci. This is a good matchup for the strawweight division on a 4-fight win streak right now. Also 4-1 in her last 5. 28 years old for Ricci, 30 years old for Godinez. And I think Ricci is more well-rounded. I just think Godinez, her lacking in, some of the grappling, maybe some of the, we'll say grappling in comparison to Ricci may lack just a little bit. I think Godinez's striking is better because she hits harder, and just boxing, straight up boxing, and just traditional kickboxing is better than that of Ricci's as well. I don't think where Ricci's more well-rounded is something Godinez has to worry about. You know what I mean? She's perfectly fine with the skills that she has matching up against that of a Ricci here. 9-1, 1 KO, TKO, 3 submissions, 5 decisions, 4-1 in the UFC, 3-0 in LFA. Decent wins on her 4-fight win streak. Poliana Viana, Mary Oliveira, I don't think is that good at all. Jessica Penne, not that great. Jillian Robertson, despite her record, Jillian Robertson some days is good, some days is bad. I'll check that as a good win for the strawweight division, not a great win. Lupita Godinez, though, and she is the favorite, as I think she should be. Fighting out of Langley, British Columbia, just 2 hours east on the ferry. Shout out to Lupita Godinez. That's so cool to see her fighting out of the Vancouver area, out of Langley, no less. That is super cool. Despite her hitting super hard, she hasn't knocked anyone out in MMA to get her win. 3 submissions, 8 decisions. 6-3 in the UFC, 1-0 in LFA. She beat Elise Reed, beat Emily Ducati, beat Cynthia Calvillo. 2 out of those 3 are a good one. Lost to Angela Hill, but went the distance with her. Beat Luma Lukbuni. That is a great win because she's a damn good striker. Again, bias and love aside, I'm going with Tabatha Ricci. I'm going with her at the as the underdog here at plus 140. Again, it's women's MMA, so flip a damn coin. It really doesn't matter what I pick. Don't bet on this fight. Don't do it. Okay, don't do it, because you're just gonna end up like Jay Herbo smashing something. Okay. I think it's going to be a close fight regardless. Tabatha Ricci, I think, is a little bit more well-rounded. She doesn't hit as hard, though. Godinez is better at striking, but Ricci's getting better and better in the striking department and able to employ some of these, kicks from her judo background and kickboxing in there as well. Godinez is way more of a scrappier and natural striker, has a good chin as well. I think Tabatha Ricci moves better and will be harder to hit on the feet than some of Godinez's last opponents. But Godinez is tough as nails, which is why I think this definitely is going the distance. But I got Baby Shark winning this one as the underdog. All right, moving up the card here. Oh, I'm so excited for this one. Because I've been a fan of Steve Erceg for a while. And I was so nervous for him coming in on short notice where he got the win. First round finish, no less. Cannot wait to see him full camp at his proper weight here. So excited for this one. He is the big favorite. Astro Boy out. He kind of looks like who's the jiu-jitsu guy? Just ankle locks Imanari's everyone and Chapuria humbled. Oh, why can't I think of his name? He trains out of Toronto quite a bit as well. You guys know who I'm talking about. One Ultimate Fighter, has the big ears, kind of looks like him here. The name will come to me, or I'll read the live chat and we'll get back to it. But anyways, Steve Erceg on a hell of a win streak right now. 10-1 as a pro, 28 years old, not even in his prime yet, in my opinion, going up against Alessandro Costa, who Costa is taking this fight on short notice. He has a good record as well, 13-3, 27 years of age, fighting out of Mexico, but he's Brazilian. Very interesting. Let's take a look at him here. Because he's fought in Lux and Combate Americas, I'm pretty sure. 4 KO, TKO, 6 submissions, 3 decisions, 1-1 in the UFC, 1-0 off Contender Series. Beat Jimmy Flick. Lost Amir Al-Bazzi. No shame in that. Let's see. 1 on Contender Series. Split decision. Didn't get a contract. Went back to Lux. 1 against a 6-4 guy. Beat 10-2. You know what? He hasn't beaten just scrubs in Lux, so I'll give him that. Beat an 8-2 guy. 12-5, 10-2, 3-1. He's 5-1, 4-2. And he's 4. You know, like he actually has a pretty good resume. Fighting in XFL, Combate Americas, and Lux as well. So like he's a fine fighter. He's well-rounded. 4 KO TKO, 6 submissions, 3 decisions. He's a fine fighter, but I'm a fan. I'm a fan, but it's not because I'm like biased. It's not because I'm a fan of like the person, even though he is kind of a character. He's damn good. He is a prospect coming into the UFC here, and that is Steve Erceg. I mean, 10-1 as a pro. 1 KO TKO, 6 submissions, 3 decisions, 1-0 in the UFC. And you know, Eternal MMA, not the best regional show, but it's the best one in Australia. It's the best one there. And and there's a lot of good prospects who come out of Eternal. Jack Della Maddalena, was he not the champion in Eternal MMA before coming over? Beat David Dvorak on short notice. Okay, he didn't finish him. I thought he finished David Dvorak, so my apologies. But you went that distance with him, even better. Before 1 guy, 7-5, 2. I mean, yeah, don't let the resume fool you, okay? He's damn good. He's damn good. Only a few good wins here. 12-4, 7-5, 4-1. A lot of amateur experience as well, where he went 5-1 as an amateur. Again, I'm super high on Steve Erceg. Excited to see what he has up against honestly a challenge. Like he's not going to walk through him. But Costa on a full camp would have been a way better scenario to see Erceg tested. But I still think Erceg takes this one. He's sick. His short notice debut is amazing. Well-rounded, good striker. Costa's good. But I think Costa's going to try to finish him early in gas. And I think Erceg's pace is going to... I mean, Erceg's probably going to win a unanimous decision or find a way... Or hurt him and find a way to submit him. But I think this goes the distance, and I think Erceg just beats him up in the second and third round. Okay, one more, and we'll get back to the comments here, guys. We got Pat Sabatini against Diego Lopes. And if you guys got in on Diego Lopes early, good for you, because the odds are getting closer and closer now. And he's still the underdog, but I know he was a lot bigger of an underdog earlier this week. We have Pat Sabatini against Diego Lopes at featherweight here. Good test for Diego Lopes. Pat Sabatini is no joke. 18-4 as a pro. He is 4-1 his last 5 fights. He is the favorite, 33 years old. And very, very good grappler, very, very solid wrestler is Pat Sabatini. He should be called the T-Rex because he's got short arms. It's not that he's a bad striker, it's just that's just not his greatest tool. So he'll not avoid a firefight, but very much pressure you, get you on the ground, control you up against the cage. And he is a motherfucker when he does that. 1 KO TKO, 12 submissions, 5 decisions, 5-1 in the UFC, 8-2 in Cage Fury FC. Beat Luke Almeida in his last fight. Great win via the arm triangle choke. Beat Alex Caceres in Fury Pro Grappling. Caceres is a solid jiu-jitsu guy, so that was actually a good win by him. Lost to Damon Jackson. He got head kicked and then ground and pound, if I'm not mistaken, but that was just a crazy win for Damon Jackson. Before then was on a hell of a run. Again, Laramie, meh. Tucker Lutz, not bad. I mean, meh. Tucker Lutz is meh. Win over Jamall Emmers. That's a good win. Tristan Connolly, not the best, but a run in the UFC nonetheless. I don't want to like disrespect him by saying he's one-dimensional, but like you know how to game plan for Pat Sabatini. It's not like, okay, put it this way. If your camp's like, if you can force him on the feet and you're actually like a good striker, Pat Sabatini's not going to surprise you, okay, with incredible boxing. That's what I'm trying to highlight here. And Diego Lopes is well-rounded. He's younger in age and, in experience. Despite him literally having more experience, Pat Sabatini has fought better guys, okay, at the higher level, UFC experience. Diego Lopes is no joke. He's no joke. He may not be fresher as far as like miles on the body, but he is no joke, and he's way more well-rounded in that he has more dangerous tools, all right? He has more dangerous tools. The Brazilian fighting out of Mexico, 8 KO, TKO, 12 submissions, 2 decisions. He loves to finish his fights. 1-1 in the UFC, fought in Russia as well in ACB, 0-1 on Contender Series. He's bounced around a lot. Let's take a look at all the regional fights. By the way, came into the UFC short notice, took Movsar Evloev, who's a very, very good fighter in the UFC. Took him to decision, gave Evloev his hardest fight, and Diego Lopes was clearly gassed at the end of the second and third round, and he still was able to drag this out into a decision and made easy work of Gavin Tucker in his last fight. So beat some Cans and Lux and Fury. But Lux and Fury are good promotions. Fun XFL, decent promotion as well. Quantity over quality is his resume with some sneaky good wins. Gilberto Pantoja, 14-3 guy in there as well. Not a lot of amateur fights, but again, he kind of fought his amateur fights at the pro ranks. Learned how to lose early, went on some good win streaks, was tested against, some some Russian fighters there. In Ayev, not quite Ov, but in Ayev. And coming back to North America for Fury, as well as Lux, which again, say what you want about Lux, it's not on Inca level, but it has been, I should say, turning out some decent prospects. And Jonathan Brito is solid. Lost him on Contender Series on his first run. Lost to Nate Richardson's, which again, close split decision. And Fury, Richardson's a fine fighter as well. But when he was called up, man, to the UFC, it was an awesome fight. And I was rooting for him the whole time. And even when he was gassing, I was like, could he maybe get something here? Could he maybe get something? Anyways, excited to see Diego Lopes go up against Pat Sabatini. This is a big test for him, obviously, but I think he's going to get done. So I am picking him as the underdog here at plus 100. I think Pat Sabatini, again, his most threatening tool is grappling and his jiu-jitsu. He does have good jiu-jitsu, and it's good offensive jiu-jitsu, but Diego Lopes has really, really good grappling and jiu-jitsu as well, and is super comfortable in his guard. Diego Lopes is not going to be giving up his back like a lot of the fighters who, as soon as their back hits the mat, they're like, nope. Diego Lopes will be like, all right, bitch, let's go. Yeah, I don't think he's going to work Diego Lopes on the ground. Diego Lopes is a better striker, as good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and has great guard work. He's a dog as well. He hits hard. Full camp here. He's going to have a better gas tank. He's way bigger than Pat Sabatini. Pat Sabatini is a little bit more one-dimensional. And Diego Lopez's last 2 fights have been amazing in the UFC. Again, the story with the Evloev fight will go down as one of the best fights for a guy coming in on short notice that we've seen in a long time, despite not winning and us still talking about him. So I got Diego Lopes in this one. Let's get back to the comments before we get through the final chunk of this card. Lopes first UFC fight. He was a straight dog. I am rooting for him. What's up, Fishing with H? By the way, guys, go support Fishing with H. He's been crushing it on his channel. Longtime supporter of the channel. It's great to see you, buddy. Great to see you, but Diego. Lopes is definitely more talented than Sabatini. Sabatini has got the wrestling to counter, though. No, don't bet Lopes. Trap underdog. It's good to see you, Fishing with H. Going Costa underdog. I do like Costa. I just don't think on short notice he's going to get it done. The high test is closing, deciding factor. Let's go, Loopy. What's up, Diego? Great to see you. How you doing today? Are you streaming Game Bread today? I'm not. I'm hanging out with Kyle tonight, but we'll probably be doing some Muay Thai later tonight. There's a lot of Muay Thai. Pretty much all the Muay Thai leagues that are stream on YouTube are streaming tonight, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, all the way to midnight. All the way to cards 6 p.m. There's one that starts at 9. There's one that starts at 11. There's one that starts at 1. Ryan Hall. Yes, thank you. The GOAT. The Imanari GOAT. Yes, thank you so much, guys. Loopy also throws wild punches like a drunk on her feet, which works for in women MMA. And Loopy caught a domestic violence against her ex-girlfriend. So she's high T. Jeez, I didn't know that. So she swings like those who were swinging downtown fighting on East Hastings. Maybe that's where Lupita Godinez goes and trains, get some like high level sparring, just like goes downtown to the Lower East Side of Vancouver and just starts, bum fighting, for lack of a better term. If you think Lubuni's a good striker, just wait till my debut. Can't wait, dude. Which is much more testosterone than Ricci. Makes it dirty and wins. MMA superhero, yes, me too, sir. Me too. I forgot to tell you the last safe play. Had my bets in before the breakdown. Congrats, it hits. Let's keep the streak up. It will tail the pick'em this time and give it a nice donut. Or you're going to pick it this time and give it a nice donut if it hits. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I was surprised it hit last time. But it was safe. It was safe. Going with Godinez on some parlays. Nice, dude. Again, we have so many exclusive members in the live chat here. Thank you all. And also thank you to our friends as well, Mr. Grant Gregory and Serial Killers Documentaries, who give out a ton of memberships. Can't thank you guys enough. Again, if you guys are just commenting right now, I'll get back to your comments. I'm just trying to catch up on some of the ones that I missed in the last segment. Poor Bilal. Isha, I left and read George's stream 4 times to get more ad revenue. Also, Bilal sucks. Thank you, Charles. Oh, that's awesome. Gang. What's up, John? Great to see you, buddy. I always get cautious when guys late to weigh-ins, especially short notice. How is everybody doing today? John, we're gonna be doing KSW instead of Cage Warriors this week. We've done Cage Warriors like a few weeks in a row, which is awesome. I love Cage Warriors, but we've neglected KSW for boxing, for Glory, and for Cage Warriors. And enough's enough. We got to do it. I know my boy Zoomer Loyalist wants some KSW, and it's going to be a really, really good card. So we're going to do KSW this weekend. Top 3 fights should be good. I believe Curtis Melinder on the main card as well. I'm going to watch Game Bread tonight. One of your friends, Rush Hour, is doing a watch along. That's awesome. Yeah, and my apologies because I'm not really on vacation, but I guess it's a vacation. I'm visiting friends and family and working full time while I'm out here. So my apologies. My streaming schedule is going to be a little bit lighter. We are still going to stream like all Saturday and try to mix in more every Friday as well. But I'm busy tonight hanging out with Kyle, like I said. But once I'm back in Minnesota at the end of November, it's going to be full steam ahead, more streams throughout the week. Like Thursdays, Wednesdays, and those we can squeeze in on Tuesdays as well. But if I'm not streaming any of the events that you want to be watching, our boy Jay at Rush Hour MMA, Rush Hour Fight Club, you know that he's going to be streaming, so support him as well. Thank you so much for reminding me. Let's go. Slavkov's round 1 murder. I love it. Betting Sadykhov, but big fan of Borshchev. Drops body shots. Yeah, he has sick body shots. Diaz on his card in his home state. Again, I might catch some of it depending on what time I'm home, but yeah, I'm gonna go into like I said, Kyle's doing a sweet photo shoot tonight. I'm doing a vlog of it. Real quick hockey question. You think the Rangers will win the cup in 5 or 6 this year? We're rolling. Laviolette has the team playing the best D they have in 10 years. I think that so far, this looks like a team that can go further than the Rangers in years past. But again, you know what Bob McKenzie says. I'm not looking at the standings until after American Thanksgiving. The Rangers are winning this year. The Hurricanes are. Yoshi doesn't Vancouver have like a bad drug problem? Yeah, the Lower East Side. It's like one of the worst in North America. I shouldn't joke about it. Diego Lopes, the sexy emo bastard. I love in his press conference. They're like, "Why do you think you're getting so much, love and popularity and social media traction?" He's like, "Oh, it's my hair, and I know this." Did Lopes cut his 2005 Billy Bob Thornton haircut yet? It always gets in his eyes during fights. Nah, man, it's his moneymaker. That's how he's getting his brand deals. Isha, do you want to do sport commentary for like ESPN and stuff? I would love that. That is the goal someday. That is the goal someday, my man. Emo's wild. Is Bellator 305 the last fight of the year? Yes. And the last official fight of them under Viacom. And then it goes over to whoever the fuck owns the PFL. owns the Canes. Historically, yes. Historically, yes. All right, guys. We're going to continue on the card here. Keep the comments coming. And a big shout out to all the exclusive members. We got Charles Barkley here in the live chat. We got Volcan. We got Mikey P. We got Denial. We got Foul One. I'm just giving a special shout out to the exclusive members and Serial Killers documentaries, not to mention all you other beauties here as well. Thank you so much for joining. Keep the comments coming. I will get back to them after this segment. Our boy, who we still haven't interviewed, but we're trying. 12 months later, it will happen. Matt Frevola, Steamroller, on the pay-per-view here against Benoit Balls, Saint-Denis, the God of War. What a tremendous matchup. What a tremendous matchup. This one is going to be war, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Frevola just pretty much has entered his prime in 2022, 2023. He's the slight underdog in this one, out of Tampa, Florida, 33 years of age, training out of Serra-Longo. He's on a 3-fight win streak, 3-2 in his last 5. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy. And he's going full Nicholas Dalby with his hair. He's Frevola Dalby. And Dalby's got some dog. You know Frivola's got some dog as well. 4 KO, 2 KOs, 3 submissions, 4 decisions. Very well-rounded. 5-3-1 in the UFC. 1-0 in the former World Series of Fighting. And 1-0 in Contender Series. Beat Drew Dober. Beat Ottoman Azaitar. Beat Gerardo Valdez. All of those great wins. He ended his perfect win streak. And beat an absolute dog. And finished him in the Giga Chad chin. Drew Dober. Lost to Terrence McKinney. Whatever. Terrence McKinney, when he's on. He has some power there. Got out grappled, but went the distance against Arman Sarukian, which honestly, in hindsight, that shows he has some very good wrestling. Going up against Benoit Saint-Denis, who has some decent grappling, but who is just a menace and who his nickname is fitting. He goes to war. 4-fight win streak, 12-1 in his last 5, and his only loss was a loss on short notice, moving up a weight class in the UFC. One of the best fighters out of France, if not the best fighter out of France right now in mixed martial arts. 3 KO, 2 KO, 9 submissions, 0 decisions. He finishes every single one of his fights, 4-1 in the UFC. Fought in Brave as well, which was very brave of him. Where he went 4 and had 1 no contest. Beat Thiago Moises, beat Ismael Bonfim, beat Gabriel Miranda, beat Nicholas Stolzen. Again, lost to Zaleski, but moving up a weight class, and it was on short notice. Again, Gabriel's meh. Ismael Bonfim, that was a good win. Thiago Moises, good win because, Moises is a veteran. But on the feet, in the striking department, there were times where Moises actually got the better of Benoit Saint-Denis in spurts in that fight. And you can't do that. You can't do that if you want to hang with some of the better strikers in the division, or someone, in my opinion, who's as sound as that of a Matt Frevola. Matt Frevola is not going to give you openings. Matt Frevola is going to find your chin when you give openings, right? Sound in the pocket is Matt Frevola, and I don't think he gets finished by Saint-Denis. I think if this goes the distance, I think Frevola wins. And I think if Saint-Denis leaves his head open, I think Frevola cracks him. I don't think Saint-Denis is going to be able to take him down. I don't think Saint-Denis is going to be able to out-grapple him. I think Frevola gets the better of him. Yeah, I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with Steamroller. Let's go. He's tougher. He's in his prime. He will match Saint-Denis on the feet. If anything, I think he's going to be better than him on the feet. He hits hard. He's more experienced against better guys. He's fighting out of a great gym. His wrestling's good. This is going to be a great fight, and it could really go either way. Minus 235, I think that's too much here. I think this is a great underdog pick for a guy who hits harder and who matches Saint-Denis in every area, other than maybe just pure wires cross C-red violence. That might be the only case where Saint-Denis has the edge over him, in my opinion. So I'm going with the underdog here. I know everyone's picking Benoit Balls. You guys have seen Archer, right? I know everyone's picking Benoit Saint-Denis, but I'm going with Frevola on this one. I think he catches him when Saint-Denis just starts swinging his arms like a crazy person, East Side Vancouverite like Lupita Godinez, because he does. Every now and then he'll take those deep breaths late in the fight and just start fucking swinging. No friggin' technique at all. And I think Frivola with the better gas tank will be able to catch him. All right, moving up the card. Featured fight here. Jessica Andrade again. We'll get back to your guys' comments here in a sec. Shout out to all the new members or new viewers here too, and all you new members. Smash that like button on the video too, guys. Jessica Andrade, and stick around for the end for our safe and degenerate parlay of the week. Jessica Andrade against Mackenzie Dern. Again, Jessica Andrade, so many miles on her, despite being 32 years of age, has been in some wars, former champion, up and down 3 weight classes. I mean, it just seems like she's just spent, man. It really does. It just seems like this is the decline. Going full Tony Ferguson. I mean, 3-fight losing streak right now, 24-12. Used to have the unbreakable chin, but now has a breakable chin. Can be out-grappled, can be submitted, can be beaten up. 9 KO TKOs, 8 submissions, 7 decisions, 15-10 in the UFC. Lost to Suarez, lost to Jan, lost to Blanchfield. Good wins against Lauren Murphy, Amanda Lemos, and Cynthia Calvillo, but after that Valentina fight, honestly, just never really looked the same. Mackenzie Dern just getting better and better on the other hand. 13-3, 3-2 in her last 5, was humbled a little bit, in those last 5 fights as well. 30 years of age. 0, KO TKO. That's her boxing's actually getting a lot better. Because she was able to put on that clinic on Angela Hill and just beat up Angela Hill. And say what you want about Angela Hill, it's hard to beat her up and put her out. Though Mackenzie Dern didn't put her out, she beat the fucking shit out of that woman in a professional fighting sport. YouTube, don't demonetize me for saying that. 7 submissions, 6 decisions, 8-3 in the UFC, 2-0 in LFA, 1-0 in Invicta. Again, great win against Angela Hill. Lost to Jan, but Jan's solid. Jan's a contender. Jan hits very hard as well, and it was a decision. She wasn't knocked out by her. Beat Tisha Torres, split decision. And again, just gotten better and better. And I think, in these last three wins here, Tisha Torres, good win. Being a little humbled in this one, but able to still go the distance in a 5-round fight, and then was able to actually destroy Angela Hill, which, honestly, if it was any other fighter, she would have either submitted her or they would have lost TKO. But Angela Hill is she's a tough son of a bitch. Oh, man. Like, even if this was last year, if this was 2021, 2022, how could you not pick Jessica Andrade? But, oh, man. Women's MMA. I'm going to get burned on this one. I'm picking Mackenzie Dern. I'm not confident at all. I'm picking Mackenzie Dern. I think she'll win if she follows the game plan that Suarez and Blanchfield took. I think Jessica Andrade always has an opportunity to win because she's like the power's lasting to go for women's and men in martial arts and in combat sports. And if she lands, she will crack her. It's not like Dern has an iron chin. Andrade, like I said, is way past her prime. Has so many miles on her body there. On the ground, it's going to be an absolute demolishing performance by Dern. Dern's stand-up is a lot better. I don't give her enough credit for it. We saw it in the Angela Hill fight. She's able to stand with women like Angela Hill who can stand with the best of them. I do think it's going to be a submission win, probably after a little ground and pound, softening them up a little bit. And Dern is a lot bigger than Andrade. Andrade just seems smaller than everyone, despite in whatever weight class she competes in. So yeah, I'm going Mackenzie Dern, but women's MMA, I'm not confident with that one. All right, we're just gonna wrap up the card here. We'll get through the last 2. We'll take your comments, then we'll get to the parlays before we finish off the show. All right, guys, co-main event of the evening here. Sergei Pavlovich against Tom Aspinall. We needed a heavyweight title fight on this card. Miocic Jones not happening. Jones with the injury. So the backup Pavlovich for that fight will fight Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall taking this fight on 2 weeks' notice. Sergei Pavlovich was training and preparing to be the backup for this heavyweight, now interim championship fight. Sergei Pavlovich, 18-1 in his pro MMA career. He's on a hell of a win streak right now. What's crazy is look how even everything is here. Look how even Pavlovich is the slight underdog. How crazy is that? At -105. And he's the one he had a full camp, okay? There's a reason. There's a reason, and we're going to highlight it here in just a moment, okay? 31 years of age. He's an absolute wrecking ball. He's an absolute wrecking ball. 15 KO TKOs, 0 submissions, 3 decisions, 6-1 in the UFC, 11-0 in AMC. Blew through Curtis Blades, Tai Tuivasa, Derek Lewis, Shamil, the big boy. Maurice Green, who sucks. Marcelo Golm, who I don't even know who that is. Lost to Overeem, who's, out of, all those names, one of the better fighters, especially in 2018. And that's the only loss on his resume. Look, if you're going to stand in the pocket or walk forward or backward to try to land like a step back shot, if you fight in a straight line against Pavlovich, he's going to beat you. Every single time. He'll beat any heavyweight. I don't care. If John Jones tried to fight him like that, I don't care how much range John Jones has on him. He'll catch the kick, drag you in, and beat you up. We have never seen Pavlovich fight a guy who can move as light on his feet as that of a Tom Aspinall. My biggest concern, much like everybody else, is Tom Aspinall only took his fight on 2 weeks' notice. Now, is he in shape? Yes, and he's admitted, I'm in shape. I've been helping other fighters in my camp and my team train, so I'm in good shape. Am I in fighter shape? He didn't say he wasn't in fighter shape, but he said I didn't have a camp, and he's very much aware of that, and he's not pretending like 2 weeks is enough to prepare yourself for a championship. He just quite admittedly said, I just think I'm better than this guy, and even with 2 weeks, I can beat or put on a good fight against everybody. Win or lose, he's like, it's going to be a good and fun performance. So he doesn't seem like he's mentally out of it. He just seems like he's realistic and present, which was cool to see. It is also cool to see Pavlovich trying to trash talk a little bit and, hype up the fight. But the fact that these guys are going at it, kind of short notice, interim belt, it's, props to both of them. This one's going to be fun. This one I don't think is going the distance, man. Someone's going out. Tom Aspinall, I think if his path to victory is landing a shot, maybe a hook side to side on Pavlovich, taking advantage of whatever shot, even if it's just a jab that throws him off a little bit, and then taking this fight to the ground, look for that single leg, or just blasting the body there, maybe taking an elbow or two to get on top and just going for the submission as soon as possible. Pavlovich has not faced a heavyweight who has been able to do that. Or has been able just to pressure him like that. Maybe Aspinall is the one who comes out and doesn't pressure him again, doesn't get in the pocket there, but comes out with the feints, drawing him side to side, then shoots in when he baits him on something or other, a low kick, a mid kick. I don't know. Hell, even a jab. Tom Aspinall here, 13-3. 6-1 in the UFC, 9 KO TKO, 4 submissions, 0 decisions, and he's beaten every single one of his opponents, and most of them in the first round. Fought in Bama, which is awesome. 2-2 in Bama. Beat Tybura, again, lost to Blaze, but that wasn't really even a fight. Beat Volkov, Spivak, or lost. I mean, they've both respectfully cleaned out the heavyweight division. This is the fight to make. I would have liked to see it with Aspinall in a full camp. It's crazy that he's still the favorite. I know his path to victory. And put it this way, I know Aspinall is the better fighter. Aspinall is. He's more well-rounded. He's got a good chin. He can strike with the best of them. He has jiu-jitsu. He has wrestling. Shit, he has kickboxing. Sergei Pavlovich has lightning speed striking for a heavyweight and is so powerful, and I think is just prepared for a fight and is in that mentality. His body, like, just everything about him is prepared for this. And I think that element is just going to give him the edge. For me, this one is a pick'em. This one is, women's MMA level, dice roll, coin flip. But my official pick is Sergei Pavlovich. I just think he's going to catch him. I really do. I just think he's going to catch him. I think Tom Aspinall is going to be a millisecond behind the speed that he usually is. And I think Pavlovich is just, he's preparing for that of a John Jones and or Stipe Miocic. He was preparing for what in his mind was the best, and I think he's just going to catch him. I'm looking at my notes here. Yeah, I went through everything. I think I went through everything. It's doubtful Aspinall is going to stand with him anyways. He's going to look for that entry, and Aspinall's hard to hit because he's moving so much. If it goes to the ground, it's over. Aspinall's going to win. Pavlovich will be forced to adjust. This is one thing I'm interested to see. Pavlovich will be forced to adjust, especially if he can get back up to his feet after a takedown. Excited to see how high level he is. If he can make those adjustments, assuming this goes into the second, third round, and can he remain calm, or do his wires cross and he just like marches forward and continues to punch? We shall see. I am going with Pavlovich. Right, before we get back to the comments, last fight for the vacant light heavyweight championship. What a musical game of musical chairs, from Jiří beating Glover to Jiří forfeiting it, to the draw between Ankalaev and Jan Blachowicz, to then Hill beating Glover for the title, Hill being injured in a friggin' UFC basketball game in UFC International Fight Week, and then him having to vacate the title. Now Jiří back to fight Alex, who lost his title at middleweight to Adesanya, but now beating Jan to earn a title. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like that meme from It's Always Sunny. There's so many lines here. It's a spider web of a story, but we've made it. And honestly, this fight is going to be awesome. Jiří Procházka against Alex Pereira for the light heavyweight title. Jiří Procházka, 29-3-1, a lot more MMA experience than that of Alex Pereira, but Alex Pereira, obviously we know, just went into the Glory Hall of Fame this last weekend as well. Very decorated kickboxer, two-time champion, two weight class champion there as well. Jiří Procházka is the slight underdog right now, plus 105. He's 31 years of age, on a hell of a win streak here, 29-3-1. He was the former Ryzen champ as well. 25 KO TKOs, 3 submissions, 1 decisions, 11-1 in Ryzen, 3-0 in the UFC. Beat Glover Teixeira a year ago. Beat Dominic Reyes. Beat Ozdemir. All in very, very good fashion. Beat CB Dalloway in Ryzen. And he has some great wins in Ryzen as well. As you can see here, just plowed through his competition. Even has wins over Nemkov, the guy everyone says could tear up the light heavyweight division in the UFC, who's in Bellator right now. Again, he was losing the fight against Glover until he was able to pull off that submission at the end, where Glover was just gassed and just made the mistake, drop over the guillotine there. So there is that. And who is his training partner? Alex Pereira's top training partner and best friend, and who has all the experience in the world and experience fighting Jiří? It is Glover. So that is something that we cannot overlook, okay? Alex Pereira, though, earned this shot and proved to everyone that I can grapple. I can grapple in MMA. I can get back up to my feet. I can force a pace and not gas at light heavyweight versus middleweight. And he proved that against Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz, like, it was a round apiece going into the third, and he was able to get the better of him in the third. Prove that Jan Blachowicz, who is a decent wrestler, who's a heavier grappler, I will say, than that of a Procházka, he's able to counter grapple him. You're really telling me that your Procházka's grappling is going to be what wins him this fight? No, this is going to be a stand-up war, baby. This is going to be a stand-up war. 8-2 for Alex Pereira in pro mixed martial arts. 6 KO TKO. 0 submissions, 2 decisions. He just keeps getting better and better with every fight as well. 5-1 in the UFC, 1-0 in LFA. Again, that I was very impressed with the win against Jan Blachowicz. Lost against Israel Adesanya, but beat him before. Beat Sean Strickland, Bruno Silva. Hey, he was able to, again, Bruno Silva, good takedowns, as we saw in his recent fight. He was able to get back up to his feet and stuff takedowns from Bruno Silva. Again, was able to grapple with Jan Blachowicz. Michailidis, that's Michailidis. He's a decent grappler as well. He was able to get back up, he was able to get back up to his feet after one of the takedowns as well in that fight. I'm going with Alex Pereira. I am. Though Jiří is the more experienced MMA fighter, style versus style, I think Pereira is going to catch him. I really do. Pereira will get back up if Jiří wants to play the grappling game. Working with Glover is going to help him immensely. Like I wrote in my notes, enough said. He has a better chin now that he's not depleted like he was at middleweight. Jiří's a striker first and foremost, so I do think most of the fight is gonna be on the feet, and this will likely stay on the feet. Jiří loves just like to bobble his head. He has very good head movement, but risky at times as well against a guy who just loves to throw those left hooks. And who has a left hook, a step back left hook, and just a left hook in the pocket from hell. That is Pereira's signature move there. And Jiří leaves his head open in his movements on his in and outs. He like swings his head in as well, which it's awkward and weird and throws fighters off, which is why I say it's good. It traditionally and I guess technically not good at all if you think about it. But he just kind of swings his head around, kind of like friggin' like Quagmire out there. He has a no chin like Quagmire. He's got a Chimaev chin, which hides it under the beard there. But you know what I mean. He's got a good chin, so I don't know if Pereira will be able to like knock him straight out, and that's Pereira power there. But he's gonna be able to knock him down and probably knock him out. Let's be honest, because he knocks out everybody. I think like bobbing in and out, trying to employ those elbows, those spinning moves. I think it's going to be one too many. And as soon as Pereira gets his timing or even gets close to it, he's going to find that. Because that's just like, you're just serving your chin to him on a silver platter. And that's what I think what makes Jiří so great is going to be his detriment in this fight, given how weird and unique his footwork and head movement is. I think Pereira is going to find it easier than he would against a traditional kickboxer or striker who's a little bit more upright. Jiří leaves his chin hanging with his funky movement. Good chin, but Pereira will at least knock him down. Jan was a great test for Alex, and he was able to get by him. If this goes the distance, I think Jiří might be able to outscore Alex by just getting a takedown, maybe some control time. But I think Alex knocks him out. And I'm going with Alex Pereira and New. All right, back to the comments here before we get to our degenerate and safe parlay and wrap things up. What's up, Red Reaper? Good to see you. He ate Bruno Silva's shots. He got KO'd by Izzy. Not a bad thing behind the ear to shots. Maybe light heavyweight Alex will have an iron chin, though. I do think he will have a better chin, or he has had a better chin at this weight class. Sub Activate A, great to see you. Alex has an iron chin, especially not depleted. Activate A, one of our exclusive members as well. Great to see you, buddy. And the Red Reaper, one of our exclusive members as well. Good to see you too. Glover can wobble. Jiří, Alex will put him down. I think Yuri's going to land takedowns, but Alex will get up. Yep. Going Alex due to Jiří getting hit a lot, but Alex KO ability with bigger gloves on at some weight classes. I put some money on Jiří. That is his belt. Jiří being unconventional could hurt him with his defense, but help him in his attack due to his wild angles and uncommon combos. That is true. Damn, Alex is really big too. He's bigger than Jiří, and Yuri's huge. I know, dude. He's a monster. Brits can't wrestle. I wouldn't bet on a Brit out wrestling a Russian. Well, this Russian has no sambo. This is the non-sambo Russian. This is the Christian Russian, not the Muslim Russian. Apparently, if you're a Christian Russian, you got hands. You don't got that sambo. Going Pereira, but should be great fight. Tom is better at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know about wrestling, though. Sergei's hands are quicker, and he has better boxing technique. I don't think Aspinall can handle Pavlovich's power, but I don't think Pavlovich can handle Aspinall's power, but Aspinall has Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling. I think Pavlovich gets it, but 50-50. I just think Pavlovich's going to have a hard time hitting Aspinall. I think Aspinall is going to be the hardest fighter for Pavlovich to hit because Pavlovich has just been able to either steamroll through fat heavyweights or big heavyweights coming at him, and he's able just to step back and hit him quickly. What's up, Hockey from Home? Great to see you. Another one of our exclusive members. So you're going to drop Tom, end it with the ground and pound early 1 and 2. That's unfortunately how I see it going. Tom is not as rip, but probably because he exercised to face Pavlovich. Well, he took his fight on 2 weeks' notice, Red Reaper. Pavlovich fought Reem on short notice and wasn't really beat. What's up, Walter? Good to see you, dude. Tom usually isn't that big, so leads me to believe he's a little out of shape. Well, he just didn't have a camp. He said he's not out of shape, he's just not in fight camp shape. But yeah, so he's not as big. Sergei was actually training to be the backup and like have a weight cut. He was jet lag when he lost to the Reem. It was his first time in China. That too. Sergei, betting Pavlovich and prepared to be disappointed when Aspinall wins. Again, Walter's good to see you. Tailor your own risk. Jiří, Sergei, Borshchev, Madsen, Lopes. I like it. Maybe this time Andrea might win. Dern should win, but skipping the fight. I'm picking Benoit Balls as he destroyed Bonfim. Benoit's going to eat up Frivola's lead leg with kicks. Ooh, that is true. He is nasty with the kicks. Steamroller. Matt Frivola will never lose to a white man. Close fight. Frivola might have the edge on him. And Benoit Saint-Denis on the ground. The stadium series was cool. Oh, talking about hockey? Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. They're going to be doing it again for sure. They do a few every year. Going with Benoit. Let's go. You agree with Tarzan? What's Tarzan say? Tom slick, but not that slick. Blades was catching him clean as Tom was entering and exiting the page. Somewhat linear. He's not constantly hitting the angles. Blades is not the best example for that. That fight was only like not even a minute long. I just don't think Sergei's faced anyone who is even as maybe I'm giving Tom Aspinall a little too much love and be like, oh, he's light on his feet for heavyweight. Pavlovich has not faced anybody even close to what Aspinall brings as a heavyweight, in my opinion. But again, this is not the ready to go Aspinall. You know what I'm saying? What did I miss here? So Pavlovich grew up wrestling. Tom didn't. Oh, it's great accuracy and timing. Taking the big hitters, Pav and Alex on the main card and Coleman. Yep, me too. Yeah, we all know fight shape definitely different. And Pavlovich shaping for boxing, wrestling, he's definitely ready. In your Bernard Hopkins voice. Tom was getting punched in the chin by Blades as he was attempting leg kicks. Again, very, very small sample size. I mean, hey, like fair. I'm not diminishing the point there. You're right, but that leaves no room for a quick adjustment. Now it's heavyweight MMA, so you kind of have to. You want to make the least amount of adjustments in a fight as possible, right? Or else you're probably not going to have time because you can get knocked out. But I don't take anything from that fight at all because it was a injured Tom Aspinall going into that one, and it didn't even go a minute. So like, I just can't. Me personally, I can't take much away from that one. My Mikey P safe risky parlay of the week is Benoit, Kang, Sadykhov, Madsen, Costa, Sabatini. 25 for 1,500. Let's go, baby. Activated. I'm meeting up with Kyle and we're going to record some different content. If it's not on the schedule, I ain't doing it. But I might be doing some Muay Thai later tonight. And again, sorry guys for the thinner schedule weekly while I'm away. I'm still going to be streaming every weekend. It's just not going to be like 35 plus hours a week like when I'm back home. But when I'm back home in Minnesota, the end of November, we're going to be back to our like 5 days a week streaming. No, for sure. And again, that's what I'm saying. Like, great. I'm happy that you brought that up. Sergei's easy fights harder than Tom's, though, in my opinion. Pav been at the AKA gym for years. I think his wrestling is underrated because of the debut loss. I just think we just haven't seen it. So, like, I haven't seen it. I can't speak to it, right? He helped Cormier for his fights and he's still active. Okay. What's up, Kane? Pav the Sav takes it. I remember thinking, man, Curtis is touching him when he enters. I think matters a little. Sergei better than Curtis with the hands. Tom was getting hit by Blades, spamming leg kicks, and Blades got no hands. Sergei catching him. We'll see Tom's chin. Exactly that. PSA Roll Nelson fighting Gamebred MMA tonight. Yeah, Gamebred, bare knuckle MMA. He won his last fight. Dude, I have always liked Roy Nelson in the UFC, in World Series. No, he was he in World Series of Fighting? No, he was in the what was it? International Fight League. Is that what it was? The IFL? I think it was the IFL that he was a champion. He was the heavyweight champion in the IFL. Dude, he was on the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, dude, Roy Nelson's a beauty, and he's still fighting near 40 years old, or maybe he is 40 years old. Bare knuckle heavyweight MMA. It's unbelievable. Tom will go out cold though. Diego, I'll see you tomorrow, or if you were up late tonight, I might see you for a little Muay Thais. We might be streaming a little Muay Thai at midnight tonight. We'll see. Probably a TKO to punches again. Yeah. I'll be happy either way if Pavlovich wins or Tom wins. I'm a fan of both of them. I do think Pavlovich will win, but I think if Tom had a full camp, he would win, and he is the better fighter overall. Belcher not a slouch, though. No, he's not. We can see Sergei's chin first, though, because Sergei was also getting touched by Blades before Sergei found his shots. Yeah, Blades has... someone said Blade has no hands. Blade doesn't have no hands. Blade's a good test for anyone in the heavyweight division. There's some bangers on the card. Rennie Costa versus Jason Knight, ex-Ultimate Fighter from the past season. Yeah, there's also... there's a few ex-UFC fighters on the card. Tom is fast. He may hit first. Again, I'm excited for it. And I hope that we see a rematch down the road as well. Just like both guys have a full camp training for each other. It would be cool to see if, one of them steamrolls each other or if it's a lot closer of a fight based on this outcome. But we'll see. We'll see. Later, everyone. Have a good day. Great to see you, Diego. Thank you so much for the support as always. All right, guys, we have come to my favorite part of the stream. The degenerate and safe parlay of the week brought to you by our friend Volkan. Should we start with the safe parlay? Yeah, let's start with the safe parlay. We have Joshua Van, Jamall Emmers, and Nazim Sadykhov in the safe parlay of the week. Degenerate, which is always the fun one. And honestly, this one was kind of harder to make. Because I could have gone 3 different ways, but I settled on Roosevelt Roberts, Jessica Andrade, and Kevin Borjas. Again, Roosevelt Roberts, Jessica Andrade, Kevin Borjas. That is the degenerate parlay of the week, the safe parlay of the week. Joshua Van, Jamall Emmers, Nazim Sadykhov. The safe parlay of the week hit last week, folks. So we're buzzing. People put too much on a fight camp. Like, if fighter is a good fighter, they shouldn't need to be prepared. These fighters have way too much time to train for everyone. Respectfully disagree. It's about being, from the way I look at it, it's nothing to do with it's a little bit, but the way I'm looking at it and the value I put in it is your shape. You're being able to prepare to go like round after round after round. Less game plan, which is I think the angle you're coming at it from based on your comment here. Less game plan for the fighter, especially at heavyweight. More so, Tom Aspinall is usually not 260. You brought that up, right? And it's just that. And it's the same with like hockey players in the offseason as well. A lot of hockey players used to use training camp to get in shape. A lot of them still do. Now, it is 2023. They are professional athletes versus hockey players now. But there's still a few of them. who use that preseason, right? To get those game reps. And in fighting, I look at it a lot the same in that sense where you could fight anyone anytime and be able to adapt, especially if you have good fight IQ, which I think Tom Aspinall does. But like, we cannot deny that 2 weeks of being in a camp preparing your body to compete in whatever sport it is versus a guy who has been. And that's the thing. If Pavlovich was like coming off short notice too, the playing field will be even there. I put value in the fact that like he's been fucking training for John Jones essentially. Let's be honest, for John Jones essentially. So that's where I'm at on that one. The fight is entertaining. I could see the UFC booking an immediate rematch. Dana doesn't want Almeida getting anywhere near the belt after his points. Dude, Almeida better be cut or forced to go to light heavyweight. True Reaper, the good fighter, stay prepared. You should keep a tally of the safe parlay like MMA Hour for fun. Okay, I will. Only one is hit so far. Oh, what's up, JL? Isn't Tom a slight favorite? Yep. It's mental and physical. Tom is experienced, though, and he's been training. But as a professional fighter, you should always be in shape. Yeah, but Red Reaper, you and I know that that's not the case. You and I both know every single fighter, except for Frankie Edgar, would balloon. And I'm not saying like balloon like Paddy Pimblett, but like is not, they eat versus, I don't even want to say not eating as a heavyweight, but eating better eating as a professional athlete. He's about to go on vacation. That too. Pavlovich was playing subtle mind games with Tom, and Tom was biting on all of them. JL's gonna go full heel against Tom, but I'm okay. As a heavyweight, it's different. That is true. It is a little bit of a different. Pavlovich will break Tom's spirit. I don't think so. What's your gripe against Tom Aspinall, JL? I'm curious. He gives vacation when he retires. Justin Gaethje pretty much fights at a natural weight. No, he doesn't. Dude. He's even... That's wrong. Justin has literally spoke out in articles on Junkie, MMA, what's the other MMA fighting? He's literally been interviewed and articles talking about how much he hates his weight cut. He hates it. Yeah, he no. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, Britt. Almeida's crying for Cyril. He had a rubbish performance. It was so bad. Gordon will obliterate Madsen and drag his carcass all over New York City. I did pick Gordon to win. You think Gordon beats Tom Aspinall too? Hello, Emma. What's up, Gino? One of our exclusive members. Good to see you. All right, guys. I got to run. That is it. Who's texting me? That is it for the predictions video here today. Appreciate every single one of you who've joined us throughout the video. Appreciate you guys who just tuned in. I will be adding timestamps here shortly. For those of you who just caught us at the end here and don't want to just drag and find every matchup. But we did take out, I think it was 4 or 5 of the fights in chunks here. So there's less buffer time between, but glad that we got to catch up with you guys as well. Oh, of course. I mean, the professional athletes at this point, they ain't going full Parker Porter up in this mouth. He has a YouTube channel where he posts his weight and his cuts. He's a big baby about definitely annoying to be around him when he's cutting weight. Got you. Bye. I'll see you guys tomorrow for KSW and UFC, and hopefully tonight for a little bit of Muay Thai. Again, the degenerate parlay, safe parlay. We went over those as well as the entire card here. You heard my picks. You heard my predictions. Can't wait to see your guys's if they've changed. If you haven't told me yet, comment on the video after it's posted. See you guys tomorrow. Check the community tab, guys. Check the community tab for the fight schedule for the weekend. Like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for the interaction. Back next week, back later for an exclusive membership stream. Again, sorry for limited streams throughout the week. While I'm gone in November, we will be streaming every single Saturday. We will continue to bring you guys some fights, but when I'm back home, when I'm back in Minnesota, trust me, we're going to go balls to the wall again. Streams Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and all weekend. Appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you this weekend. Peace.